If solving two-step equations confuse you, then this video is for you. Let's solve two-step equations. So let's start with 4x subtract 5 equals 7. We're going to use a reverse operation to solve. So the last thing that was done to x is subtracting 5. And the reverse of subtracting 5 is add 5. So add 5 to each side of the equation. On our left hand side of the equation, we should add 5, and on our right hand side of the equation, we should add 5. And this is to ensure that the equation remain balanced. So now we have 4x being equal to 12. Now to reverse multiplying by 4, we have to divide by 4. So divide both sides of the equation by 4. So divide the left hand side by 4 and also divide the right hand side of the equation by 4. This means our x will be equal to 3. Let's try an example. 5x subtract 3 is equal to 7. And here we have the last operation, which is subtract 3. So this is the last operation that was done to x. We have subtract 3. And the opposite of subtracting 3 is adding 3. So on our left hand side of the equation, we need to add 3. And on the right hand side of the equation, we need to add 3 as well. So let's add 3 on each side of the equation. So on the left hand side of the equation, we add 3. And on the right hand side of the equation, we add 3 as well. Now we have 5x being equal to 10. And we'll now reverse multiplying by 5. So the reverse of multiplying by 5 is dividing by 5. So divide the left hand side of the equation by 5 and divide the right hand side of the equation by 5. And this means that our x is equal to 2. So we can pause, you can pause the video now and try these two questions. Okay, let's find the value of x. So again, we have the reverse subtracting 7, and the reverse of subtracting 7 is adding 7. Because we add 7 on the left hand side of the equation, we have to add 7 to our right hand side of the equation as well. Therefore, 3x will be equal to 12. And because we have x multiplying by 3, we have to do the reverse of multiplying by 3. And the reverse of multiplying by 3 is dividing by 3. So divide the left hand side by 3 and also divide your right hand side of the equation by 3. and x will be equal to 4. So let's try the second question. Here we have x multiplied by 4 add 3 is equal to 7. The last operation that was done to x is add 3. And the reverse of add 3 is subtract 3. So we subtract 3 from the left-hand side of the equation, and we also subtract 3 from the right-hand side of the equation. This means that 4x will be equal to 4. Now we have x multiplied by 4 being equal to 4. So the last operation that was done to x is multiplying by 4. And the reverse of multiplying by 4 is dividing by 4. Divide the left-hand side of the equation by 4 and divide the right-hand side of the equation by 4. Hence, x will be equal to 1. Let's solve for x using the reverse operation method. These questions involve division. So here we have x divided by 2, subtract 5 equal 8. To solve for x, we're going to reverse the last operation that was done to x. And the last operation that was done to x is subtracting 5. And the reverse of subtracting 5 is add 5. Add 5 to each side of the equation. So on the left-hand side of the equation, we add 5. And on the right-hand side of the equation, we add 5. Therefore, x divided by 2 will be equal to 13. So now we have x divided by 2 is equal to 13. And the reverse of dividing by 2 is multiplying by 2. So multiply both sides of the equation by 2. So on the left hand side, we're going to multiply by 2, and on our right hand side, we're going to multiply by 2. Now we'll have x being equal to 13 multiplied by 2, which is 23. So let's pause the video and try these questions. Here we have x divided by 5, subtract 2 is equal to 8. The last operation that was done to x is subtracting 2. And the reverse of subtracting 2 is add 2. So on the left hand side of the equation, we add 2. And on the right hand side of the equation, we add 2. This is to ensure that equation remain balanced. So now we have x divided by 5 is equal to 10. And the reverse of dividing by 5 is multiplying by 5. So we multiply the left hand side of the equation by 5, and we also multiply the right hand side of the equation by 5. And this is to ensure that your equation remains balanced. Now we'll have x being equal to 10 multiplied by 5, which is 50. Let's solve some other questions. You can pause the video and try to solve these on your own. Okay, let's complete the first question. So here we have x divided by 3 add 2 is equal to 8. We have to reverse the last operation that was done to x. So the last operation that was done to x is add 2. And the reverse of add 2 is subtract 2. So we subtract 2 from both sides of the equation. So on the left hand side of the equation, we subtract 2, and on the right hand side of the equation, we subtract 2 as well. And this is to ensure that your equation remain balanced. So now we have x divided by 3 is equal to 8 take away 2, 8 subtract 2, which is equal to 6. So here we have x divided by 3 is equal to 6. Again, we reverse the last operation that was done to x. So here we have x divided by 3, and the reverse of dividing by 3 is multiplying by 3. So we multiply the left hand side of the equation by 3, and we also multiply the right hand side of the equation by 3. So therefore x will be equal to 3 times 6, and 3 times 6 is 18. How about completing the other questions? If this video did help, please share and like, and you can drop a comment. Also, the next video will be listed in the description, and that video will be on solving equations that involve fractions and bracket.